Ladies and gentlemen, Big Four Boys, episode 60. Alec, don't know who I'm going to say. Some lineman has got to be number 60. There's no way there's an NBA player with number 60. That would
I
be,
actually looked I actually looked this up. I just didn't know any of the guys with the number 60.
yeah.
Chuck Bednarik, apparently.
Okay.
Um
He,
he he was apparently the first player taken in the 1949 NFL draft.
how did we miss
And
him?
he had a nickname Concrete Charlie.
Okay.
So there you
Concrete jungle where dreams are
go.
made. Dude, but so we missed last week. We've been doing like an every other week type of beat here. But I guess that's okay because that means we got more to chat about. This was NFL weekend this past weekend, first round of the playoffs. Pretty
We missed the college
exciting.
football championship.
Oh, we did. Yeah. Well, no surprise there. That was a snooze fest.
That was such a bad game. That was so bad.
Yeah.
And you know what sucks? We talked about this. The cheapest tickets were like $900, and
Oh
it was in
God.
LA. I mean, what a game! What a way to piss away money, man. That is just
Even the
awful.
backups on Georgia were killing TCU. Like they
It's just
took out Stetson, I think, at the start of the fourth, and they were still just nutting on them the whole time. It was embarrassing.
it
Does that
really was.
TCU quarterback, did he ruin any draft potential? Or I don't even know what year he is.
The McDougar guy.
Yeah, Max
Nah,
Duggan.
nah, he'll be fine. I mean, I still can't believe they beat Michigan. I feel like this is more of a
Yeah,
embarrassing thing than Michigan. Like you guys lost to the team that got killed by Georgia. Like
yeah,
I, if I'm Michigan, I'm like humiliated right now. You know, at least Ohio State played Georgia. Should have beat Georgia, to be honest. But
yeah, yeah. They should have. Yeah,
um,
that's what's so it's so weird. We talk about this all the time, just how different teams match up. Like Michigan beat Ohio State, but Ohio State played Georgia well, and then Michigan loses to TCU. Like, how does that math doesn't make any sense? How?
it makes no sense.
Yeah,
And TCU handily beat Michigan, right? It wasn't even like it was that close. It was pretty a comfortable win. And I mean, Ohio State. I don't know, man. They should have. I feel like Ohio State should have been in the championship game just because that was a missed field goal. That was like a what, like a chip shot, like a 30-yarder or something like that. That they'll
yeah.
make 9 out of 10 times.
Well, it should have been Georgia versus TCU in the first round. TCU should have been the number four, and then we would get Michigan, Ohio State again for
Oh
the 2 and 3.
man.
That would have been that would have been spicy. Like I would have been like, ooh, like I would have
It,
been excited for that.
oh man, that would have been great. It would have been great to even see Michigan, Ohio State in the championship game. Oh my God, that would have been because like they were. I mean, apparently they both could have done it, but both,
Yeah,
both of them didn't. Both of them fell short.
yeah. Well, that's
Um,
I'm sure that's what the committee was thinking when they did these matchups. They're like, oh, there's potential for that, and it ended horribly. We
if
got
they did that, what would the ratings have been like the highest ever all time?
Maybe. Yeah.
Like,
Probably.
is there a better like rivalry in college football?
Yeah. I Harvard, Yale. But yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Berkeley, Stanford.
Yeah. No, I think that
Oh,
is probably the best. That's a good point. Let's think here. What other big ones are there?
you got your Oregon versus the Beavers.
Yeah, but the two irrelevant teams.
UCLA USC is pretty big. I mean, right? No, for us.
Also irrelevant teams. USC, you
Uh,
guys lost to Tulane. I don't think we even talked about that. That was embarrassing.
yeah, meaningless game. Who cares about a ball game?
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't.
Uh,
That's true. Like Oregon won their bowl game. I didn't even watch it. So I was like, who gives a fuck? They're playing like
but
North Carolina.
but apparently these bowl games like still get like millions of views. Like, who's watching it? Like, what's the point of it? I don't get it.
I
Who
think
cares?
dedicated fans are like, I'll tune in. I got to watch my team, but it means nothing.
Let's see. What's a good rivalry? Texas A&M v Texas.
Okay, yeah.
Baylor v Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma, Texas is good. That's like
Oh, that's a good
the
round.
Red
Yeah.
River rivalry. That's always fun. Um,
Alabama. Ooh, Alabama. What's the one
Bama,
with Alabama?
LSU. That was good for a
Yeah.
while. Like when Burrow was there, that was good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alabama Clemson became a rivalry, but
yeah,
none of them are like as big or like historic as like Ohio State, Michigan, right?
yeah.
That's been a rivalry for like 100 years, like over 100 years.
Yeah, and it's funny how the tides always turn. I mean, Ohio State, when Urban Meyer was there and he was, having sex with kids, like they were doing so they would win every game.
Apparently, they were the best team. Yeah,
Yeah,
that coach,
Harbaugh could never beat him. Yeah,
dude. What a like thing. Like Urban Meyer's like stock has completely crashed. Like he went to Jacksonville and now he's like the biggest meme. But if you look at it, like look at his record in college football, he's like probably one of the best college football coaches of all time.
yeah,
Just like he never. I think during his tenure, he never lost to Michigan, right?
yeah. He didn't. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, he
Yeah.
never Harbaugh never beat him, and I think he was in his khakis just crying. So
This Ryan Day guy who's supposed to be better than Urban Meyer, schematically anyways, has lost two of the past, like the last 2 years. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, but I don't know, Brody. The college football's done. It's sad. We got the NFL now though, and it's we're in the heat of it. I watched that dude. So I was at the gym, not to flex, but I was working out.
the rich person's gym
Absolutely.
where you
Yeah.
got your wallet stolen.
Yeah. Yep. And I had my golden dumbbells. I was doing curls with the solid gold. I was watching the Chargers Jags, Herbert versus Trevor Lawrence. And like so we have a friend of the pod. He's never been on the pod. I've lied about getting him on a million times, but Jimothy, James, who lives
Yeah.
in San Diego. I thought about texting him during this game because he was the biggest Chargers fan. And
Bolt up.
I would bolt up. I would watch a ton of games too, and they always collapse. Like when they had Anthony Lynn, that one coach who they fired, because
Yeah, yeah.
they can just never keep a lead. Like they always lose or win by a touchdown. It's always so no matter who they play, they can never get a blowout win. And they were up. Trevor Lawrence, as we saw in the game, had 4 interceptions in the first quarter, I think, or the first half at least. And Chargers are up 27-0. When the Jags scored at the end of the first half and it made it 27-7, I was like, this is not close to over. Like this game is like knowing the Chargers, like they're gonna find a way to fuck this up. And sure enough, they were just terrible in the second half. I was pissed. I was like, God damn, this is bad.
How how did they have like the like all consistently? They have like always like a talented team, like a really good O line, a good D line, like a good running back, good wide receivers, and like even good decent quarterbacks. Like before Justin Herbert, who did they have? Like
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers. Yeah, like and now
Yeah.
they have Herbert. Like and they just can't. They can't do it. Either like the field goal kicker f's up or like something like happen. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
um
but everyone was like, they got to fire the coach.
Staley.
Yeah, the scrawny white dude. They're like, he's got to be fired. And
Yeah, fire him. Get rid of him.
yeah, but
Are you not for that?
no, I agree. But it's also like, what do you? I mean, what do they do? And how much of it is on the quarterback? Like, I love Justin Herbert. He's an Oregon guy, but like
Ass is ass.
Matt Ryan for the Falcons, like he's the one who gets shit on. Like they didn't really shit on the coaching staff; they shit on the QB. So it's like I feel like Herbert kind of deserves a little bit of it. It's like you couldn't get one touchdown in the second half. Like I know the coaches probably suck, but it's like it's also on you a little bit.
I'll tell you this. The move for Staley to play Mike Williams the last week of the regular season, even though it was like a meaningless game for them, they had locked up the playoff spot, knowing the guy's injury history and cost them the injury, that was stupid. I
Yeah,
think like playing like, your stars in that game was stupid. Like you could have risked Justin Herbert's, health or whatever it was, because like the seeding didn't matter at the time they played. Like it was just completely meaningless. And
Yeah.
then like the stuff he's done throughout this season, like he's just crazy. Just playing like a Russian roulette. Like I'm going fourth down here. I'm not going fourth down here. I'm going third down here. Like he just doesn't. It just makes, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense what he's doing.
Mhm.
Um, dude, his team was so much better than the Jags. It's not even funny. It
Yeah.
was just like a coaching outclass. Like Doug Peterson just outclassed them coaching wise. And like, by the way, Doug Peterson, everyone's saying, "Oh, what a great like play he drew up for that." Like, remember like the last 2 minutes or something like that, the third down. It was like a third
Oh,
and two.
I
It was
think it
like
was
a running
fourth
play.
and one, and they
Oh, fourth and
handed it
one. Yeah,
off outside. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like a master class, but it was just like just a. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just I think you gotta blame coaching to the extent, right? Like Dan Quinn got blamed for the Falcons' loss enough. I think he got fired 1 year after that, even though he made the Super Bowl.
But what is it about a team that I don't know what like you're up so big, the other team scores once, do they start panicking then? Like what causes a team to just completely shift the momentum where they're like we were doing so well and now we're just going to be horrible. I don't get how that
Dude,
happens.
it's actually
It's got to
like
be mental.
oh, absolutely. All this stuff is like momentum driven, like crazy. Like some of these games, like you just watch it, like the momentum shift, and it's actually a real thing. Like I've seen so many games where one team is just so hot, like they're unstoppable, and then the other team gets like one stop, and that's it. Like they get into their heads, and like I don't know, like it reminds me of that USC game, the USC Utah game, where USC was just on fire. They were gonna
Yeah.
be up like 21 zip on Utah or 21-3, whatever it was. And then Utah gets that one stop on them, makes it like 17-0, 17-3, and that was it. Like USC for the first three drives were unstoppable, and then USC becomes like, what? You know what I mean? It just reminds me of that game where like the Chargers in the first half were unstoppable, like amazing. Like I think one of the touchdowns got over overturned. It should have been like what 30.
Mm,
They remember they had scored in the first half. There was like one touchdown. They overturned it. They got a field goal. At that point, it was like that was the time where like the momentum stopped. Like you know what I mean? That was the like, uh-oh,
mm.
something's up.
Yeah, it's also like if your opposing QB throws 4 interceptions, you should probably be winning by more than 27. Not like 4 picks, you should be destroying them. But I don't know. They
Do you
just kind of
want do you
suck.
want do you want to hear something interesting?
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence has never lost on a Saturday
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
in high school, college, or professional football. And this week he's playing the Kansas City Chiefs on Saturday.
Holy
Are we
fuck.
in or are we in?
Dude, we got to put Jaguars money line. I'll put a couple grand in, definitely.
That's a lot. I mean, that's like a few bucks for relative to me.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. That's true. Pocket.
yeah, 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 that's nothing for you. But dude, I think that's a guarantee, right? I mean, that record must mean something. The guy came back from 30 down
Yeah.
to win that record.
Well, I mean, and they beat the Chargers, who are way better than the Chiefs. So yeah,
All
it's
right,
a
man.
lot.
I'm gonna call my banker.
Yeah, dude, you should, bro. But I was surprised the first round of the playoffs. Like a lot of teams that should have killed, it was like the Bills almost lost.
Oh my God, that
No,
was so
no
embarrassing.
Tua, and they looked terrible.
That
The Bills
Thompson guy
did.
was amazing. Like, they made the Thompson guy look better than Tua, for Pete's
Yeah,
sake. Even
yeah,
though the week before he was complete garbage.
yeah,
I mean, what else was there? The Bengals almost lost to Tyler Huntley.
yeah.
Like Tyler Huntley, if he doesn't like fumble the ball, who knows what happens? Like
Yeah,
you
on
watch
the
that
goal
like
line,
Ned
yeah.
in yeah, yeah, yeah. What else was there? That was like another close game. The 49ers Hawks game, like for the first half. Who
Yeah,
the hell knew that the Hawks would be up
I
or
know.
tied?
Yeah. If
And
only they had Russell Wilson.
then the Cowboys game, I should have known that if the Cowboys were gonna win, it was gonna be a blowout. Because if it was a close game, the Bucks would have won.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you even saw like the Cowboys were gonna crumble like the Chargers.
at the
Like
end,
this was like a
yeah,
hot take, yeah, but this was like
they
a hot
went
take, but
up.
like
Yeah,
they were getting like, but the problem was that the Cowboys held up until like the fourth quarter before
yeah,
they started crumbling. But like the momentum shifted in the fourth quarter, and it was clear it was like Brady, like, and if that game was like maybe a touchdown closer than it was, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna bet against freaking Tom Brady.
I know. Yeah, in that fourth quarter, but no, I mean the Cowboys held their own, but they'll be done this weekend.
Yeah, is there any chance they beat the 49ers?
No, no chance unless Jimmy G is somehow quarterback. But isn't he dead now?
Brock Purdy, baby.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy,
Purdy's
by the way,
amazing.
my Armenian brother, huh? Did you see? Did you see that?
No,
There's the Armenians are saying that Brock Purdy's Armenian because his grandma, I think, was Armenian or something like that. So
you gotta
I mean,
claim him, man. Nice.
we're claiming him before anyone else does.
Yeah, I mean you might as
Okay,
well.
let me give you the spread for this week. Let me see what you think is tasty.
Yep, spread me.
Okay, Chiefs Jags, Jags +9.
Whoa.
We got to dig that, right?
Yeah,
Doug Peterson's not going to let, unless, I mean, the same thing happens like the Chargers, but the Chiefs are competent, so maybe not. This is another one I really like. Giants Eagles, Giants +7.5.
yeah.
Come on, man, Danny Dimes. He's the
Yeah,
next big
yeah,
one.
well, that's the other one we didn't talk about. The fucking Vikings being 12-4. Is that was their record, I think? And then
Yeah, some bullshit record.
but everyone knew like you got a great regular season. This team isn't doing shit. And they didn't.
Dude, dude, they were so like they were what like 8-0 in one score games or some bullshit, and then when it mattered in the playoffs, they lost in the one score game.
It's that classic
Um,
meme of Kirk Cousins had never won a primetime game. I think for
what
years there was a stat that like he was 0-10 in Monday Night Football or any, intense.
Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, he's ass. But this wasn't even a night game. I think it was like an afternoon game.
Yeah, but it was playoffs, so for him that's enough
So,
pressure, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, and then they made Danny Dimes look like he's better than freaking Tom Brady. Dude, like, I had to like listen on Monday to all the bullshit. Oh, Daniel Jones, this guy's actually talented. This guy's this, that. They're the same commentators who, for the past like 3 years, have been saying, "Oh, this guy's garbage. They can't believe they selected him over Lamar Jackson. Oh,
Yeah.
this guy's ass." Blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
well, I talk about this is why I mean, all these analysts, you're like, your job is not difficult. You're just reacting to shit. Like, and I think I've used this example on this pod, but like Stephen A. Smith going on First Take or whatever bullshit show he has, and he's like, Zach Wilson's terrible. It's like, well, that's easy to say after he's been terrible, but like there's dudes on YouTube who 2 years ago were like, he will be a bust. And to me, that's way more impressive. Like, you actually had to predict something instead of this dude who's like reacting to what we're all seeing. It's not like you're some smart guy for saying this. Like, we all know this. And
And
yet,
they changed their reactions.
yeah, yeah, that too. They're like, he'll have a good week, and they're like, oh, he's looking kind of sexy this week, and then
Like like
afterwards, yeah,
like Daniel Jones, Geno Smith. How can these guys be so off? Like Geno Smith, beginning of the season, you're like, oh, this guy's the MVP. Then like middle of the season, this guy sucks. Then end of the season, oh, he's coming back. I mean, it's just like these guys can't. Like I couldn't handle it, man. And then Daniel Jones, like now they're basically saying, oh, it's all the coach. The coach, what you call it, um,
yeah,
save them, shit like that. But it's BS, man.
yeah. I don't know what other games there were. I mean, I think who do you think wins the whole thing?
gun to my head, 49ers or the Bills.
Really, even after last week for the Bills.
I don't think the Bills are that good, but I feel like there's a lot of like, juju, like the Damar Hamlin thing, and you got a lot of people rooting for them
Yeah,
right now because they
yeah,
almost lost someone. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like right now they're in that zone where like they have to win. Like the NFL is gonna try to get them to win. Like
yeah,
just ratings wise, like it's in the NFL's favor if the Bills are in the Super Bowl after that whole Hamlin episode.
yeah, yeah. Did you see? Because this happened like 2 weeks ago, they returned the kickoff, like the first play of the game against the Patriots. They scored a
Yeah,
touchdown the week after he almost died.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
is this scripted? It's gotta be. Like, they gotta be writing this shit. They're like Patriots special teams. Don't tackle the guy. Let him score.
And like just the way they have to make it to the Super Bowl, like it is just a ratings bonanza. First he goes against Joe Burrow, the rematch, the game where it all started. Then he has to go against Mahomes, the game last year, like that they should have won probably, the whole overtime, like, you know,
Yeah.
travesty, like all that stuff. And then to the Super Bowl, I mean, in terms of ratings, obviously it would be huge if it was like Bills Cowboys. That would be like the number one thing. But realistically, I'd probably from the NFC, I'd probably guess it's the 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they. I mean,
Yeah.
they just have a solid defense. The defense is always going to carry.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to make it?
I mean, I want the Bengals to make it.
I do want Joey B to make it too for
Yeah,
some weird
they're
reason.
my favorite AFC team that's still in it. I wanted the Chargers, but we all know that's not going to fucking happen. And then the NFC. I mean, who do we even have left? We have the Niners.
Cowboys, Eagles, Niners, Giants.
I think it'll either be the Eagles or the Niners.
Ratings wise, though, Cowboys would be the best.
That's true, but like, QB wise, they're not going to get it done because they just have low quality. They just have low quality guys, I feel like, and bad
Who, Dak?
coaching.
Mike McCarthy?
Yeah. How is he
Yeah, Mike.
still a coach?
Well, dude, he just saved his job for another year.
That's true. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he has a job for another year because they just killed Tom Brady.
Better than Jason Garrett, I guess. But
Mhm.
Bodie, I don't know. I think Niners or Eagles is who I would pick to
I hope it's not the Eagles. I just think that the Eagles are a bullshit team. That like they got an easy schedule.
they're
Um,
like the Vikings kind of.
yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be really surprised if the Giants beat them.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be. I mean, even though the Eagles like spanked the Giants the first time they met when the Eagles were healthy, and the Eagles also beat them like last, but like that game was a meaningless game for the
It's
Giants.
something about, I don't know if it's a mental thing. It's something about these young quarterbacks that have such good regular seasons, and then in the playoffs they're just like, ugh, like Lamar. That year that the Ravens were like 14-2, they just played horrible in the
Yeah,
first round of the playoffs, and they lost to Tennessee. And then, you know, uh, fuck, what's his name? The Bills, Josh Allen. Like, he was horrible last week. Like, great all season. Had, I think, 3 picks
no,
last
no,
week.
he was good in the beginning of the season. I think he fell like off the edge of a cliff. Like
Yeah.
mid-season, he was just doing like a bunch of stupid shit. Like he's just so talented, and I don't know I don't know, man. Some stuff he does just doesn't make sense to me. Like he makes like some stupid boneheaded plays that is gonna like that he shouldn't need to make. Like he's just has everything, dude. This guy could run better than anyone else. He
Yeah.
could throw better than anyone else. He's just oh man, it's just a
Yeah.
shame.
He's like a less talented Baker Mayfield, but
Yeah.
so he's very good. Yeah.
Imagine if Baker were in these playoffs, man. Oh man, it'd be a game over.
Yeah, he's got the mental toughness. He's good at like yelling at people and stuff. So, yeah.
Um, So let me give you the other bets I didn't tell you. Bills -5.5 against the Bengals. I think a lot of people are kind of favoring what I've been saying is that, there's some like NFL juju with the Bills, but I'm not going to bet that they're going to win by 5.5 points. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's a field goal game.
Yeah. That makes
And
sense to me.
then what is it?
That makes sense to me. I think it'll be close, two great teams.
And then Cowboys, 49ers by 4.
Or 40. Yeah, I think so.
Hold on. Who's this guy calling?
Ooh, getting calls.
I don't know, man.
Kelsey Group.
I think it's the same, man. Yeah, KelseyGroup.com, by the way. This is we're at the peak of tax season, folks. Well, not really. We're at the beginning of tax season. Sign up now, and you will get a price cheaper than TurboTax full service. And mention this podcast for an extra 10% discount.
Holy shit. We're doing ad reads. Fuck yeah, dude. I love that.
www.KelseyGroup.com.
Dude, apparently, so we obviously this goes on YouTube, but we upload this from Anchor, the Anchor distributes it to like Spotify and Apple and stuff. And I think even if you're a no-name pod, I've heard that you can do an ad for Anchor at the start of your video and they'll pay you for it. But I'm sure it's like, 10 cents per uh 1,000 listeners or something. But I think that is the thing you can do. So maybe I'll look into that. But I
Maybe
doubt
we
it's
should do that.
yeah, maybe.
Dude,
Um
I've been actually advertising a ton. Wait, no, let's talk about
no, that's good. You gotta, get your name out there and nut. But all
it.
right, Brody, let's talk about, we've talked NFL. We all know that, the Eagles will win it all. But any other personal stuff? I mean, like, school has started again or not yet?
School started again, unfortunately. Um, Let me see. What about school, man? Fucking A, man. It's just, know
Yeah.
what's there to say about school. But I do got a good schedule. I don't have class Thursdays and Fridays.
Oh,
So
fuck. That's
extra long weekend.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
You can do a pod Thursday and Friday, every
Yeah.
week.
And Saturday and Sunday.
Nice. Hell yeah. Did you I think it was last episode we talked about your fantasy football and you not winning the money. I sent you the Instagram on Instagram. We DM'd each other some naked pics, but then also I sent you the
Video. Yeah.
the group of people who did a Madden game. They played against each other to settle the championship. They played Madden Bills versus Bengals to see who would get points. Um, you guys didn't think to do that. You just settled the other guys getting 1,000 and you're getting 0.
My no, I'm getting 100. No, he didn't want to do it, man. He just didn't want to do it. Um
Yeah.
he didn't want to do it. I mean, I saw him actually at school the other day. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm just like a bitch, man. What can I say?
What did he mention the game or anything?
No, but he was smiling ear to fucking ear. You know
Fucking
what I mean? He was smiling ear to fucking ear. He was just like, you know what I mean, man? It was just ear to fucking ear and smiling.
you should have thrown a punch. God damn,
He
dude.
is bigger than me. He is bigger than me. He has a,
Like
the,
out of shape or is he like ripped?
not ripped, but he's like taller and like probably more in shape than
Damn, dude. Damn.
I.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
I feel for you. Um,
can't do anything. That
you could at
he
least
was
table
smiling.
top him, but
He
yeah,
was smiling ear to fucking ear. You know?
he's just like, "Hey, what's up, Alec?" And he's
Yeah.
just cheeked up. God damn it, dude.
He, he couldn't resist.
Yeah,
I don't blame the guy.
I mean, what a dick. At least split the money. That's terrible.
That's what I fucking thought. Hey, but you know what else? Let's see. What else did I do this week? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm telling you, I'm advertising a ton for Raquel's group.
Yeah.
I started this advertisement on LinkedIn,
Okay.
and I'm just curious to see how that's going to work out. LinkedIn. I didn't know LinkedIn really does that stuff, but I'll let you
How
know.
does that like you make a post and then you get to promote it? Like you pay to
Yeah,
get seen by people? Got it.
and
Yeah.
like, dude, their minimums are kind of crazy. Like, they want me to spend like $40 a day on
Oh,
advertising. So I'm just going to do it for like 7 days and then test it out.
I've thought about doing that, not to make this about me because I'm a selfish douche, but like I've thought about doing like posting my videos on Facebook and like doing the boost thing because you can like pay to get it seen by more people on there, but I don't know if that would be worth because I think it's similar. You got to pay like $20 a day and it gets seen by people who are you pick your demographic, like you would pick people who like comedy as one of their things, and but I don't know how that would go. Maybe I would test that sometime, but I have
Yeah, I
nothing.
mean,
I don't have any videos on Facebook. I don't know. I feel like that's just an older dem.
I did. So the way I understand these things is you got to actually put like real money. Like Instagram, I was doing like $5 a day. And Instagram, by the way, I got like zero. I did $5 a day for like a whole month. I got nothing. From
Yeah.
what I understand, because there's like other people who are also like promoting their shit, you have to be like essentially putting more money up to get like people to for them to promote your stuff over their stuff. So like you need to put like let's say $30 because at the end of the day it's like they're calculating cost per click. Like who should we send this lead to? Should we send it to this guy or that guy? Like which like CPA? So um, like I don't know. Like for right now, I'm like I have some advertising on Yelp for the past like 2 years. I've been doing that. That's actually really good. That's like $300 a month,
Hmm.
but the results are like really good. Like 30% of my business comes from Yelp.
Yeah.
Um, Google, from what I understand, like is very pricey to get into. It's like a $50 a day situation
Yeah.
minimum, which is like a lot of money, man.
That's, yeah.
Like I know this guy who would apparently put like $100,000 in like Google advertising for like this one specific thing. It was just like extension, right? He all his website would do would be filing extensions, and he would charge $9.99 per person to file extensions, like whatever it was. And he spent 100,000 on Google like in like a 2 day span,
Yeah.
April 14 and 15, and he grossed like I think like 1 million in revenue or something like that. And he's just like, yeah, that's just my business. It's just April 14 and 15. I put $100,000 for those 2 days, and then you know that's it. Which
Oh,
is kind of crazy. It's such
yeah.
a huge risk to put a hundred
Such a
thousand
big
dollars
risk.
in 2 days, just
Yeah.
like in a 2 day span. You don't know what's gonna happen, right?
Oh,
And then, I mean, clearly it worked out. I mean, but it's
yeah.
just a huge risk, man.
I know. You know who Mr. Beast is, right? The YouTube guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's the
yeah.
biggest. He has the most subscribers. Like I've seen interviews with him where he talks about just the risk where he's like, we spend millions on videos, and it's like if those flop, you could just be totally fucked. And now he's massive. Now I think his whole corporation is worth like a billion or something because he's got like food products that are in Walmart that are named
Are you
after him. Like,
serious?
yeah, he's a brilliant guy, and I think he's younger than us. He's younger than us, I'm pretty sure.
Are
And
you serious?
but like when he was starting his YouTube, he would spend all the money he had to try and make just a crazy video. He'd be like blowing up this car, and that would be the video. And so he'd buy the car and blow it up. And it's like you're running such a huge risk. What if the video doesn't go viral? You don't get the money, and then you're just broke from doing that. And I don't know. I could
Crazy.
never do that. I would just be terrified that I'd lose everything. But
Dude, that is yeah, man. Like that stuff is crazy. It's just like basically betting it all on yourself. Like imagine, okay, this guy put 100,000 and the website crashes, because it's just a 2 day job.
yeah,
And then people have no loyalty to the website. They'll just go backspace and then whatever the next, search listing is.
yeah,
Like, and then he has to find like the exact like perfect amount of words It's crazy to me, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Holy
I
fuck.
don't know. But I mean, based off of that, he's built like a pretty like he his like next part his other venture is like the people who file extensions. He tries to convert them to do their taxes.
Got it. Yeah.
But that he's like that only maybe grosses 100,000, which isn't worth his time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to
Anyway,
diversify. He's got to do like taxes and like an OnlyFans or something. And
is that what you're doing, by the way, cousin Eddie?
dude, I have to. Have we? I don't know if we talked about it on here. There's a couple comedians. I think we've
Yeah,
made.
he's yeah.
They have an OnlyFans where they're like edgier jokes that I can't say on YouTube, and it's like, who would fucking pay for that? No one gives a shit. Like Whitney Cummings, who we saw at the Comedy Store, like she has an OnlyFans just for jokes. It's like
Uh-huh.
I'm not fucking buying that.
I mean, if there was something else, maybe.
Ooh, yeah, I know if you're wearing a thong, but no, I know it's
Are you still doing stand up? Have you been doing any stand up recently?
yeah, dude, I did two sets this week. I was gonna mention this a little bit. It is really funny to me how like you meet. I feel like with comedians you have such a range of people where like a lot of people I think are like lower self-esteem. They're like, ah, that joke sucked. Like I got to get better. I feel like that's most people. You definitely meet some people who are on the opposite end that are just so full of themselves, like so arrogant. Like I think, and once again, like I'm pretty sure I talked about this. Maybe I talked about this when I did a solo ep. But there's these,
You're the arrogant version, right?
yeah.
The full of yourself type.
I show up. I'm like, hey, it's my turn. I'm gonna do a full hour on stage. Every other open micer can eat shit. And I'm like, look, I show them. I'm like, look how many TikTok followers I have. Like I'm relevant. You're not. Like I do that whole thing. Um, and I talk about, how great I am. But dude, some people show up, they're like 2 years into comedy and they just are up there like, oh, I should get to go before all these other people that signed up before me. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, we're in Southeast Portland. Netflix isn't here. No executive is at this shitty open mic watching you perform. Like, you can drop the fucking attitude, but some people have it. You meet some characters who really think a lot of themselves. And I watch their sets and I'm like, I haven't
They
laughed
don't have it.
once. I'm like, I haven't laughed once. And you're up here like
Can you laugh? Can you laugh for someone you don't like? Is there like a comedian that you personally don't like, but you can still laugh at their jokes? Like, if I don't like the guy, it's going to be so much harder for me to laugh.
Well, that's the weird thing about open mics is I feel like there's a lot of just bitter people. Like I think there's a lot of like what I've found is the successful comedians in Portland, like the ones who have actually like get a ton of views online, like do cool shows, they're all super nice to new people because they're like, oh, that person's not really a threat to me. Like I'm doing me, like I'm successful. So they'll be nice to guys like me who are newer. But then you meet some people who've been doing it a few years and just haven't really like they kind of suck and they will treat you like shit because they're like, oh, another new person taking my open mic spot. I'm just like, okay, well, eat my cock. But yeah, so it's
You're in
it's a
Southeast
range.
Portland.
It's a range of
Get over
people.
yourself.
Yeah, but it's a range of people. But the mics are fun. You meet cool people. There's some douches, but the reason I said all that is like at some of the mics, like those bitter people, they just won't laugh at anyone. They'll just be like looking at their notebook, like trying to write new jokes, and so they don't even listen to you when you're up there. But that's
Yeah.
only a few people, I guess.
Hey, do the other comedians like give you, let's say, comments, or are the comments accepted? Are the comments like looked down upon? Are they like, who the fuck are you to tell me if my stuff's funny or what to do?
I haven't really gotten a ton of. I've gotten feedback like once or twice, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's valid. But
Like, is feedback welcome, or is it like more of a like, hey, you know what, fuck off. I'll do what I think is funny. You can do whatever you think is funny.
I think it depends who it's coming from. Like I think if I went up to someone who's been doing it for like 5 years, and I was like, "Hey, man, you should fix that." He'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my face." But if some dude who's been doing it for like 10 years came up to me, I would certainly listen. I'd be like, "Oh, you know way better than I
What
do."
if it's like some guy who's been doing it for like fucking 6 months? He comes to you. Same
I
amount
would
of time essentially as
I
you.
would probably tell him to fuck off. I'd probably be like, "What, stop it." Um, but I don't know. Sometimes, it doesn't matter who it is. It could just be like an audience member who doesn't do comedy, and they could like observe something and be like, "Oh, that joke I didn't really understand," and you're like, "Okay, well that's good
Fuck
feedback."
off.
Yeah, yeah. The amount of punches I've thrown, dude, it's crazy. Um,
So how many minutes have you gone up to? Like
what
how
do you
many minutes of like how many minutes can you like hold your own for?
Well, the problem is like the open mics in Portland, like the one that allows the most time. There's one on Mondays that I went to. They give you 7 minutes. That's like the most that you can get at an open mic.
Oh
Like
no way.
longer shows, I think you get to do up to like 10 to 15 minutes, but that's for people who've been doing it a long time. They get booked on those. So like the most I've done at once, I think, is just 7 minutes. But I probably have like 10 minutes of like stuff that I kind of like. Um,
Wow. Hey, so can you come down to LA and like do the open mic circuit here?
Dude, so what was funny is like I think a week after I was in LA with you, I had some video do well on Instagram, and this one LA comedian DM'd me, and she was like, if you're ever in LA, like I'll show you the open mic spots. And I was like, damn, I was just there. But so next time I go, I have that lady to hit up and be like, hey, put me on this bullshit. But she's not like famous by she's just like a random person.
Yeah, you should message her before you come to make sure she's in town.
Yeah.
That could be huge.
Dude, get put on some stuff. Yeah.
Maybe a Netflix exec sees your stuff.
Dude,
You're
yeah.
getting 20 million for your next special.
Yeah, they're like, Chappelle, Mark Norman, these famous guys, like they've been doing it 20 years. Let's give it to the guy who's been doing it 6 months. I think he deserves the opportunity. Yeah. But dude,
Chris,
it's
Chris Rock,
yeah, yeah. We'll
Dave
pass up we'll
Chappelle.
pass up on Chris Rock and his getting slapped story that everyone wants to hear, and we'll give it to this accountant. Um yeah,
Could be good, man.
yeah. But Brody, I mean it's fun like doing the shows. It's like a nice switch up to be out at night. You're hanging with people. It's
Yeah, otherwise it's like you're not ever out at night. You're not invited to parties or anything like that.
No, and I'm
Um,
not really invited to these either. Like I show up and people see I'm on the list and they're like, should we leave?"
it's like
So
your only way of hanging out with people at like night. Yeah,
yeah,
you come to the
that's
office.
true. I have to force myself in there. Yeah.
So you work is just like, hey, I get to hang out with people during the day.
Yeah. No. No, at work people hate me even more. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh
Hey, let me ask you this before we log off. We're hit
yeah.
closing in on an hour. How's the cameo biz doing?
Dude,
Oh,
I don't think I've done one in like 6 months at this point, maybe longer.
Will support our boy, man. Will support our
Dude,
boy.
you need to make one so Will can support it. He said he would pay for yours, so
Will, if you could support me if you choose to do your taxes with Kelsey Group, cheaper than TurboTax,
oh yeah.
full service. That is.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at you too, Jake.
Kelsey Group. Um but yeah, dude, no cameos. So I feel like people always clown the dude on Cameo. They're like, anytime I hear a comedian on a podcast, they're like, "Oh, anyone doing Cameo, their life is in the toilet." And I was like, "Damn, maybe that's a good point. Maybe my life is in shambles."
I mean, tell us something we don't know. Tell us something we don't know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, people know that about me.
Yeah,
All right, Brody. Well, we're in on an hour. I'm supposed to go back to work. I haven't gotten any emails though, which is
gotta
nice.
make the big bucks, man.
Oh yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, this was episode 60. The whatever football player got drafted,
Concrete Charlie.
Concrete Charlie episode. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. We will be back next week with another hitter of an episode. Logging off now.